Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We are playing in the Harbinger League with the Full of Oriath expansion as a solo self-found Dark Pact Necromancer. And today we're gonna run the tier 8 map, the Pier. It's a twinned map, so we got two unique bosses. On top of that, they have extra area of effect. Monsters are faster, they attack faster, move faster, cast faster, and they deal extra damage as lightning. So what I mentioned in the previous map, sometimes monsters are more dangerous and tanking is going to be slightly less of an option. So let's see how this turns out.
Man's reach extends into the ocean, clawing at its infinite depths.
So the Pier map has a boss called the Architect, who actually the arena is going to be divided into 3 separate stages, and whenever we reduce the monster or the boss to at first to 2/3 of his life, then to 1/3 of his life, and then he's going to move over to the next stage. With this being a twinned map, the bosses will both move when one of them reaches that health threshold, and then of course in the final room we've got to fight them. So that's very much like the labyrinth in that regard. And there's even going to be some traps in between to even further reinforce it. This is all stuff from the wiki. I don't think I've ever actually played it, so let's see whether the description on the wiki and the actual playable reality are mostly the same, or how they will compare. Because of course you can describe something, but playing it, yeah, that is something quite different entirely. And there is a Haku. So far the map seems linear, which is something I approve of. Also, as said, monsters are dangerous, let's not stand too close to them. So let's clear a bit of an area around Haku here, then do the mission and then move forward. Okay, got some hot dogs, we got some squid. I think we cleared enough of an area around here. Okay, more Jaegers coming in. Hey. Come on. Die already. Okay, that's one of the downsides of this game, of course. Monsters keep pouring in from all sides. Is this going to be a dead end? No, it's not. Actually, it is. Just spotted it in time. Good. Okay, so we know the way forward is going to be into that direction. So let's say hello to Haku, find him his spirit. Or in this case, return the spirit to the exit. Okay, this being a Tier 8 map means that this is going to be a Tier 9. Is it Tier 9? Yeah, it's going to be a Tier 9 equivalent area, so enemies are dangerous. They don't carry the modifiers from the outside, but well, Tier 9 by itself already means they got some life, they got quite some damage. And it is quite a step up from my daily Haku missions, which I think they're around level 70 or so, which at this point is not all that exciting anymore, or not all that challenging. And luckily there is the exit. We are rather sturdy, so for this mission that definitely helps.
Another of Kita's.
And how far along are you? Yeah, see, just only into Tier 7. Let's advance towards where the boss fight's gonna be. From what I understand, the arena does have now 3 stages, but it is all one thing. There's not going to be multiple areas of the level. There's only going to be traps areas in between. But we'll just have to see how things do end up comparing. I must say it is nice just approaching the atlas from a different direction than I usually do. Having to face bosses that I haven't faced before, seeing mechanics I haven't seen before. It's gonna be nice. And of course here is a Harbinger. Okay, something explodified there. Yes, explodified is the official term. Wonderful. The Harbinger map, some whetstones and stuff. Ooh, and a strongbox. What's in the box? What's in the box? 3 rare monsters and items have 20% quality. Well, that could be interesting. Wonderful. So effectively this means that most of the items here are just worth taking back and vendoring. So let's just empty our pockets and then move forward again. Of course, if you sell 40% of a quality to of items to a vendor, then you gotta get a currency item of that type. Though now that I think of it, maybe it's not all that important, since I do have quite some armory scraps and things like that already. The recipe is more important early on in a league than in the end. Also, I was unconsciously tanking something without realizing it. Let's try to not do that all too much. Wonderful. Superior lacerate. Gems with quality are always useful to pick up, since not a lot of gem cutter prisms drop, so having means to upgrade the quality of your gems is wonderful. Question is this going to be the dead end, or is the thing on the side going to be it? And from the looks of it, this is just the way forward. So we're going to actually backtrack a little bit and then we'll return here. Okay. And exactly. Cool. Being able to just get a bit of a read on how the map is gonna flow definitely helps with knowing where to backtrack and where not to backtrack. Or just being able to just make reasonably educated guesses is gonna help. Another Shaper lore bit up ahead. Let's see if that is the same one, Memory of Home, or it's gonna be another. For now though, this looks like it's gonna be yet another one of the side areas. Okay. And there was another one on the other side. Memory of Home. Yeah, we've seen that one before. Also, but this actually doesn't move forward, so this is the way forward. And 17 monsters remaining implies we are pretty close to the arena itself. Wonderful. Okay, we are entering the gauntlets. So Let's see how this goes. There will be traps. Luckily, all of the arena or the labyrinth have prepared us for this. And these are the architects. They're standing close together. Doesn't really matter what's happening here. Oh. Yeah, and they're teleporting next through, and they have some spiky things that come out of the floor. Interesting that it is a rather small arena. Okay, just some regular spike traps. And then they're waiting afterwards. Wonderful. Minions. Okay, definitely part of the whole. I don't really like small arenas, so of course we're gonna get a small arenas style of play. And we get skewer traps. Yeah. And there they are not quite buddies. Oh. Maybe any skeletons here. Like that. Wonderful. And that completes the tier 8 map. It's different than I had expected it. Though maybe my expectation was a bit too much based on the labyrinth, but not quite. I'm very surprised by that the architects were waiting in very, very small spots. But on the other hand, though, we have an army of minions, plop it up. And then mostly we are fine. They dealt quite some damage, though them having extra lightning damage does help in that regard. But most of the fight we were fighting on our life rather than an energy shield, and we were mostly out of flask charges here as well, because there were no add-on minions or things like that after the fight. So, well, Sorrow of the Divine is of course very nice for keeping my energy shield up, but in this fight it just lasted too long and it didn't really work out. So it is an interesting fight that it is split up in 3 ways. So resource conservation and preservation is much more important than it is in other fights, where you can just go all out and win the day. But with that, there's one lucky ducky somewhere in the level. We're just gonna leave it be. So for now, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.